Let's see who's out there now. Let's see. Anybody online? Hi, just trying to see who's online. Let me see who's there. I'm going to share what's coming through now. What's being cleared or what's coming through, what's being released. Interesting. So I had a couple of these things coming in the last 2 nights in dreams. We know we're doing clearing and ancestral clearing and past, but it's a bit more than that. And I sat in meditation. I was like, wow, that's interesting. So really, really interesting. I'm going to see who's here. Let me just... So give me 1 second. I just want to see who's online. Wish some of them could actually join us, but unfortunately, I see one friend I had planned on doing a live with, one of the young people I was going to do a live with now. Hasn't been on, so he's lost some of the followers. It's quick to get on. All right, so let me share. Hi. Let me share what's going on in the collective. I did a live last night. You can go to my YouTube channel and find out about that. Because the timelines are splitting now. They know everyone knows that different timelines or different parallel universes, but they're starting to split off now, and it's quite a big test coming up. So some people are starting to go through it already, where you're going to get, it's to try, especially the mind. You're going to find the mind is going to be the most challenged. Your thoughts, negative thoughts, keep the mind quiet, to be focused, to concentrate, not to. That's where you're going to have the most of the challenge. Will be on the mind itself. It's going to play with you. So be prepared. I did a live about that last night to give you a heads up so you know how to handle it. You don't fall into the trap and get sucked down and get stuck onto the old earth of the lower negative timeline. You get sucked into any of the drama, anything that happens outside, man-made or not. You got to stay in the heart center and not into the drama center. All right. Let me tell you what's happening. This is interesting. So some of you might have experienced this. You might find, depending on you, some people do lucid dreaming, but your dreams aren't exactly, that's why they don't make sense, because it's the brain doesn't understand the multidimensional. And your brain, you try and see them as literal, but they're not. So if you know where the lessons were in the things. So you'll see that your past is being cleared. It's been coming up. People are crying or, doing healing and clearing. Ancestral timelines are being cleared. Past is being cleared. And you might have dreams where you might think, but because it's not the same and it's not the same story. It's not like you're dreaming of the past exactly as it was, but you're dreaming about the person. Maybe that, and what you'll find if you know what it was about was the lesson. You'll see the lesson in it. Sorry, someone's just messaging me. I'll just put my phone on silent. I forgot. Let me just put it on silent quickly. So what you will see is the lesson. So and it was interesting last night because I knew that. I thought, oh no, I wasn't going to go back there. It was coming this dream. I woke up twice in my dream, and these things are being cleared. And then I realized what it was, because that person, each person, anything you had, especially if it was a negative thing, that was a lesson. They were just there to play their role to bring that lesson, and you were supposed to overcome whatever it was, an attachment, if it was your weakness, whatever it was, right? You had to now see it and not do the same thing. So this was what came up last night. So this morning I was thinking, why am I dreaming about this person second time? And then I realized what the dream was actually, the context of the dream was exactly this. So obviously now it's been cleared out. So I thought, okay, now there we are. We know we're doing this, right? And then I was playing, I've had a few of American Indian. Most people, you've had so many lives, you just don't remember them all. But I was playing their shamanic music for the elements. American Indian or indigenous music for the elements, which I love, and it's something very much. And I had past lives that were a lot of them, more than one of them in that whole thing, and they weren't good. They didn't end well. Anyway, so this was another one. One of my guides. You think your guides is actually just a parallel life. Actually, your guides is one of your, if you want to say, past, present, future lives. So one of them came through. Some of them are, and this was an elderly. Whether she was a medicine woman, an American Indian lady, and I know she was a guide of mine, But that's it. Anyway, she didn't end well. She was murdered, and not nicely in those days. They used to attack villages and slaughter them all. Anyway, so it was like that. Okay, now, so what it is, let me get to the crux of it. Now, depending on your cash and your ancestors, what it is, if you want to move into the new earth, because as we know, new earth has already manifested. The new earth is there. She's actually manifested. So we're going through this transition like you are at the moment. This is what you're seeing, but the new earth is ready. Is this whole process of, you're getting upgraded, you're taking on more light, you're purging, you're healing, you're going through this whole awakening process, raising consciousness, kundalini, it's fun. It's challenging, right? But the earth is going through the same, as you see. So storms clearing, the waters, washing away, purging, flushing, earthquakes, moving, shaking, there we are. So the earth is going through her, if you want to say, cleaning out, right? But we know there's more than one timeline, there's more than one parallel reality version of earth. Then not all are pleasant. And this is where you're going to watch my video last night, and the last 2 or 3 I've spoken about it, and many people are talking about it. You've got to be very cognizant of what timeline you want to be on, because people don't realize they manifest. It's not that you're just going to go along with the flow and watch what happens. That's it. You'll shift to whatever one you want to decide on by your focus. Your focus, what you believe, what you do. See, so focus on that, because you're going to get dragged in. Like I said last night, many people have seen it and is going around that you might get the old energy. This game you came here to play Earth was an energy test. Actually, this is what we dropped into play. So now the old energy is going to try, because it's both come from source. If you want to say the light, the dark, old energy, the new energy, whatever. So the darker dense energy, it's its job. It's going to try and suck you back in. And once you get stuck down there, it's very difficult to climb out, because it's a very dark, dense energy. Everything's negative. Everything, you drop into that frequency, as I discussed last night, my live from last night, you can go and watch it. I don't want to repeat that one. But the new earth, as I've described it before, it's also on my YouTube channel, is people that realize that you create your own reality, that have stepped into your actual power, remembrance of who you are, stepped into your power, you are creating it. Your beliefs, your thoughts, your frequency is everything. And that's a positive timeline. It's a higher way of consciousness. You don't believe the worst is going to happen. That's a lower consciousness. That's a darker dense. Because if you did that, why would you believe we're going to be doomed? This is going to happen. We're going to be whacked with a comet. Because you then haven't cognized you create your own reality, because you wouldn't be doing that, you see. So with the new earth comes, it's why it's a lighter energy, lighter consciousness, there's no dark. So you won't think of anything bad. You won't expect anything bad, because you're just doing it. Then you're manifesting yourself in a really bad spot. So it's positivity. It's a light. Same with the thoughts. That's why they say it's a light, because everything is lighter. So this is what's happening. We're dropping so today I sat in meditation. That was interesting. And I asked them if they want to show me anything. And I went through this more than one death of this, shame. But many of them, we've seen so many. And if all of you go back enough of it, you'll see you've basically had so many lives. You've died in every way you can possibly conceive of, because it's an experience. So and they weren't all pleasant. You've had some not so pleasant endings, plenty of them. You just don't remember them all. So this was going through this and telling them. And now it's also, we cannot take any of the old into the new earth. The old way of thinking, the negative energy, negative beliefs, which is the same thing. You'd be focusing on the negative, being negative, believing it. Because then you haven't cognized you're creating, your own reality for one. So you don't choose to focus on staying in the heart, love, peace, unity. You will hold those frequencies, feel lighter. You eventually just go up and up anyway in light. But it's leaving the past behind. So a lot of us think we're going to carry on with our same Akash and our same no, because that belongs to the old earth. It's a lower dimension. So remember, there's no such thing as anyway time, actually past, present, and future. So we're not going to drag any of our past with us. It's baggage. It's heavy energy. All of those experiences were in a lower dimension and darker, denser energy and negative and So we are actually cutting our cash. We are, those especially have chosen to do over the karma. We are dropping our cash, our past, our things. We're leaving everything behind. Our old way of being, the old energy, old consciousness, past, your cash, your ancestry, blah, 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 blah. This is what we're doing. So you can move into the future. And when you cut it, when you willingly do it, oh my gosh, it's like a feather. You feel so light. You feel as light as a feather. You just float. I mean, you just float up. You are so light. You do not want to take, you cannot take your darkness, your dense energy, your negativity, your drama, your past, your hurt, your shit, any shit with you into the new earth. It is a new earth, new you, new energy, new frequency, new light, new everything. It's like a new you. You're starting a new, it's a new epoch. Yeah, it's a new epoch. So you're starting from scratch. It's a new you, new way of being, new way of thinking, new frequency, new vibration, new earth. It's freaking awesome. You know what I mean? It's freaking awesome, actually. So that's what we want to create, because we don't create any, we're not dragging. Otherwise, we just repeat the same rubbish and the way of pattern of thinking and behavior into the past. We would just destroy the new earth, because it's the same negative thinking and then belief and fighting and division and separation. You see, so literally you are leaving everything behind you. You are really, this is what you've been slowly, you cannot shift into that new, oh, it's amazing. So you feel so much lighter, oh my gosh, wow. And it's like, okay, now we're just going to leave it behind. Doesn't matter who did what and how we died, it's all in the past now. Leave the past, leave your cash, leave your ancestry. It took them to get you this far. But it's time, we cannot take it with us. It's time to let go of the old and who did what and how it happened and any of it. You've got to be willing to cut that tie. Just cut it all loose and float and go away and float off, yeah. That's amazing, yeah. So nice. Woo! Lovely. And wow, do you feel so much lighter when you cut that thing, yeah. Yeah, oh, it's amazing. I promise you. It was like, I felt like a feather. When this is finished, I floated. I just like, you're so much lighter, and that's what you are. The energy is lighter. New earth is lighter. You know, and you sit and think, and you feel happy and positive, and your outlook is, and everything is. You're in that love, in that way. If any of you have, been in that state where you can maintain being in the present moment and no mind, when you've been practicing long enough, when you manage to quieten the mind for a long period of time, what they call bliss. People walk around you in this bliss. I mean, you just blissed out, that kind of thing. Yeah, similar. But where you can drop back in the heart and your other mind, and you just feel absolute peace, content, happiness. Man, life doesn't matter what, you are just so happy. You are just so, that's it. That energy is, yeah, oh, lovely, yeah. So it's just, and it's moving. It's so strange, And I see we've been shifting and shifting, and now it's actually completely like surrender. You're just cruising, having the clue what's going to happen tomorrow. There's no planning. There's no such thing as, oh, well, you got to plan, you take action. No, that action and planning is the old earth. It's literally trusting in your higher self, whatever you're going to need now or being, and every now moment you'll be guided, and it's walking around blindfolded. It's like being on a treasure hunt. There we are. That's my best way of putting it, actually. It's like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. You have no clue what's going to happen. What's going to happen tomorrow. There's no planning and stock up for next month and better plan for this and none of that. You're walking in absolute light and faith, and you know everything at perfect timing will be given to you. It's literally like treasure hunting. It's amazing. And it's actually very freeing when you give up that, because it's very difficult for humans to let go, you see. It's freeing when you give up control and just, you know what, it's nice? I think it's so liberating, because you don't have to worry anymore. You just hand the keys over. There we are. It's like being in a taxi, sitting in the back seat, and there we are. Everything's going to be taken. I love it. It's amazing. I'm like, oh, this is so nice. 58 or something years, trust me, people, where we have worked and worried and planned and this and that, and this is the old way of being, creating in the light. Now we're doing it we're manifesting it from the heavenly into the physical, and it's so cool. Oh, okay, yeah. I know. You know what? It's so freeing. It's so liberating just to sit back and just know that everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. And exactly in the now moment, wherever you're meant to be, you're meant to be, and you're going to be guided and having it, and just not having a care in the world. Not worrying about tomorrow. Most people, oh, what am I going to do? Where am I going to work? Nothing. Because as you need it, it will be given to you if you stay in that flow state. But it's really relaxing once you decide, this is actually quite fun. What have you got to lose? Free. It's so freeing. And this is that, I suppose, it would make you much lighter. Think about it, because the old way of being is worrying and thinking, and it's the mind again. You're in the mind all the time. This is now not living in the mind. The old epoch was the IQ, the knowledge, you got to know the certificate. This is absolutely none of that. This is not anything close to that anymore. It's completely not, the mind is not in control anymore. It's being in the now, being in the heart, and just, that's it. On cruise control. Freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. So it is very interesting. So I felt really relieved, actually, after having a little bit of chit-chat. It was like, okay, now, okay, it doesn't matter how they blundered you to death now. Let's leave that behind now. We cannot take that and tit for tat into the new earth. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter who did what. This was a part of a learning thing. Everyone carnated into earth too. And they knew they were going to drop into the third dimension. And it was to develop the mind and this whole ego nonsense and the brain, that part. So, we cannot keep going around in circles and and that's not fair, and it's, you did this to my country and you did this to my race and blah, 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 blah. It just goes in circles. That's really not productive. No, you're welcome. So it's so cool. So there we are. All right, people. Let go and have complete faith. So think about being in a taxi. You don't worry about tomorrow at all. You be now, be happy. Your thing is just to be happy. That's it. To be happy. To be happy, to be in that state of happiness. And you can find I shared many things. There's some Buddhist ones that will help you, bring you back down to earth, into your body. When you remember, actually, I'm thankful because I've got a heart. My heart is fine. It's working well. I have eyes that can see. Because if I didn't have eyes, I wouldn't be able to enjoy the beauty, the splendor, the nature. Think about a blind person. You don't realize how much we've got to be thankful for. I have food in my fridge. I've got a blanket. I've got a place to sleep. You know what I mean? If we stay in that just knowing and happy and that, your higher self is your higher self. It's not going to drop you in the shine. You know what I mean? Well, that's the same thing. If you believe in expected, yes. If you're living in if you're still practicing living at the older consciousness and old way of being, then you're still trying to, control everything. And it's not right. Yeah, but we moved into a new energy, so it doesn't really work out that well. Because you're trying to do things from the old world in a new energy. It doesn't really work. Alright? So there we are. So if these things start coming through and you start having dreams and you're dreaming it's clearing and then says, let go. Bye. Clear out the cache, leave your past, leave your ancestry, leave the lot behind. You cannot drag your ball and chains and this and new. We're moving into if you want to move, that's up to you. There's many versions of Earth as well, many timelines. So it depends on you as a being, what your maybe higher self chose. I mean, there's many. I listen to them. It's fascinating. I mean, there's many people that I know. We have some similar things. We're overlapping in some things, and other things we're like, no. I don't see. I'm not where in that still place of being where there's other things can do things to you, and nothing has power over you. You're not trapped. You're not any of that. That's not in my timeline. But there are people that still, think that the Earth's got this machines in charge and in control, and they're in the Maya, in another Maya. So it's like you're in the Maya and you're creating another Maya inside the Maya. Wow. But there are. So there's many versions, and depending on people are resonating with this. There's many people. So I don't know what timeline they're going off on. It seems to be more of a different one. Not a Lemurian one, doesn't sound like it. It's sort of different. I don't know what. Anyway. But there are many, many. So people got to decide for themselves, do I want to believe this? Do I want to have this? They're not realizing it's a choice, that you have an absolute choice. It's not a, you've got to get to the point where you understand there's no set reality. There's no set timeline. You are choosing, I believe these ETs are controlling our planet, but that's your choice. That is a timeline, but it's a choice. It's not the only one. So you got to think, do I want to believe or choose my reality has any negative in it? No, not a good idea. That's just a lower frequency. You see, because then you're still believing there's a separation and something is control, No. But there are many timelines, as I say. They are quite similar, some of them, and some of them are really, oof. Yeah. We see it depends on frequency and vibration. What you believe. Depends on your beliefs. There we are. See. What have you chosen? Most beliefs people don't realize are not yours at all. They've come from something you heard on the internet, on this group, on this light work, or that, whatever. But they're not yours. So if you decide it's your truth, because it's at the frequency you're at, because there's things you're holding in you. You've got frequencies that you haven't worked out yet that are resonating with that. You see? Think about it. That you haven't realized, oh, I need to clear that, and do I want to know? Okay. So if you do, you're going to be resonating with that, and you decide that's true for you, it will be true for you. So what you will see in your third eye and anywhere in your existence is clarification. It will be verified because you have chosen this. What you don't realize is, as what's her name? Dolores Cannon tells you. And the Buddhas will tell you high level, you create your own reality. You are literally creating everything your soul's planning. It's just a stream. It's a holographic. It's a stream of consciousness. So if you decide, okay, I believe these ETs are controlling the world and doing that, that's reality. I'm resonating it because I don't know why, but anyway, I've chosen that as I believe it's true. You will see it in your astrals. You will have validation by other people, groups, because you're resonating at the frequency. You've chosen that. But you now decide, okay, maybe not, and you raise in frequency and you change that. It will not be your experience anymore. You won't resonate with it. Won't be, because you're not. Nothing can be in your experience that you don't have a matching frequency to. So that's why some of the things you overlap, but then some don't resonate with you. You see, because you don't have those frequencies and vibrations. So whatever negative beliefs you haven't cleared, you see, that anyone's imprisoning you and doing anything to humans, you're not victims. No one is a victim. But that's that, you see. Yeah. Whatever you believe, it'll be validated. They're not going to tell you no, because you're less than you can create, because you are source, part of the creator. You creator. You can create anything. You can imprison yourself. You can believe you're in a spider's cave and you're stuck in whatever, who knows, whatever. And there are people that believe. There are many. I've listened to some weird things out there. And what people don't think of, it cannot be in your reality if you don't resonate with it. So it's everything outside is just a mirror reflection. So you've got to think, oh, why? No. You see? Literally, because people see it in their astral or whatever else, because you've chosen it as a belief, and they're going to verify it, because you're saying, this is what I believe, so source says, okay, no problem, give it to her. You see? People don't realize this. Yeah, you will do, especially if you go higher. If you're in the flow and you're in a high frequency, you manifest very quickly, yeah. Yeah, sometimes less than a week, depending on what it is, or a week, depending on your, yeah. It's amazing. So there we are, people. So that's what people don't understand. You see, but it's true because I'm my guides and I saw this and I saw that. Of course it will, because you've chosen it as your truth. You are a creator, part of the creator. You see, it is though. It's really interesting. So there isn't one truth. To decide what world you want to live on, and does it have any form of other things controlling us? If you want that, you can choose it, and it will be, then off you can go, and go do another round of oppression. That's up to you. Maybe some souls maybe have chosen that challenge, you see. Who knows? We're not all going to go on the same timeline. A lot of them are similar and overlap, but yeah, they are starting to split. So, decide. Hearing problems. I don't know who's got a hearing problem. Well, slowly, yes, probably slowly. If you're not resisting it, you are subjected to these energies. You are sitting in these energies. But if you're consciously asking and choosing for it, so you can a hell of a lot faster. You can go up, yes. And yeah, I don't know what your higher self, and some haven't chosen this life. I don't know. Anyway, there we are. I'll share that with you people. So there's some interesting one going on now. That was the first time I've done that, because we've all done past lives and done healing and gone back and done this and yeah, one. Something that hadn't been finished that had to be sorted out, but not to be let go. You're letting go of your past, of the old earth, which everything that ancestor, all that was on the old earth. We forget about this, you see. We're literally moving to a new earth. It's a complete new frequency. So it makes sense. We can't take any of the old with us. Makes total sense. Anyway, there we are. So we're leaving it all behind, hey? And it's bye. Nice knowing you. Thousands of years of that. Yes. You know how many thousands of years we've been going around. Oh, and I don't know how many lives you've managed to see or timelines. Wow. And just go back in Earth's history. Just go and, travel and do a bit of Earth history, remote viewing or going back. You're like, wow, that was, woo. So yes, I am so freaking happy. This is so amazing because it's lighter. You feel lighter. Your consciousness is expanded. The world's expanded. Your abilities have expanded. Your awareness is expanded. Everything's expansion. It's just freaking amazing. Where there is just, when you drop into that, it's like, whoa. Anger, hate, negativity, worry, stress, fear, all the negative actually, and all the heavy energy, all the shitty energy, all the everything that's not fun is there. Bye. I feel like, you feel like those, what are those little yellow people? Minions. Bye. Oh, you're so happy to get there. Bye. Yeah. That can't go fast enough. Thank you. Wow. What lessons? But also, you're thankful. I mean, don't be in a negative way, because you chose it and you thank it for the lessons and experience. Because believe me, every single one of us chose to think, wow, to connect here and to experience and actually go through that whole process. Ooh, or you wouldn't be here. And you're not Mickey Mouse. Some of your souls, some of you, I don't know, some of you might, who knows, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody. But some of you, we've done this on other planets. And it's, can be very messy. So this is what I warned people for before, okay? No contract. Broken. You can break any contract. Free will. Otherwise free will wouldn't exist, wouldn't it? You can break any contract with anybody at any time. Anything. There we are. So there we are, people. Freedom. So cool. So, yeah, it's amazing. I love it. People forget we've got free will now. Well, you're part of the creator. You can do what the hell you want. That's what I'm saying. They don't get they're creating everything. And they don't realize, because none of us went through this Buddha, we haven't got a yogi teaching us. So we don't realize when we wake up what we start seeing in the astral and these other beings is a lot to do with our darkness, our shadow, our fears, our unbalanced energy. And it manifests in a way, but it's not literal. So a lot of the stuff is misconceived. And especially with dark dense energy, everything's fear. Ooh, everything, When you realize, and you've got to get to the point where you realize nothing can control or has control over you, can do anything to you, unless you have consented or you believe it can. Human or non-human, nothing has power over you. You're all equal. Absolutely. Nothing. No being, no anything. That's it. As simple as that. Yeah. Absolutely nothing. I know. Because we didn't realize that. It's overcoming our fear. We didn't understand what we were seeing, all those kind of things. Yes, you choose. Whatever you believe is what you get. So if you believe something, I can't do this, or that's your belief. That's you saying, well, you see, you've got to be careful what you say and what you think. Because every time, it's only you blocking you. That's it. It's you all the time. That's as simple as that. Your beliefs, you doing it, your this and that. It's really got to go back. Yeah, we will, every now and then, you're going to, ooh, okay, you forget. Sometimes you'll have a moment. But that's part of it, that you'll get, you see, we keep clearing, we keep going up. So it's freaking awesome. I'm just so happy anyway. I'm like, bye. Doing your affirmations and doing your new earth and thanking earth. And also visualizing the earth that you, I don't think, if you expect, this is what people forget, you keep got to go back to, I am creating my reality. So if I'm expecting that this is going to happen and that's going to be disaster and there's going to, that's exactly what you have now put yourself on that timeline. I'm like, no, why? There are earths with absolute paradise. They don't have any of this shit. Their transition is, so you can choose to move to that earth, shift to that power, and not experience any negativity. You don't have to experience any doom, gloom, disasters, nonsense. It is choice. Absolute choice. You believe that's going to have experiences, and that's what you will get. So when we got to check ourselves with everything that we believe and choose to believe in. It's a choice. That's what we forget. We keep thinking if something's real, it's real, it's real. You're manifesting all the time. So there's many different timelines and versions out there. You choose what do you want to, there we are. I don't know what you're talking about, Jenny. Who died? You leave, yeah. Well, that's another level. There's another level. You don't actually, but yeah. Depends on your belief. You'll get there. Just focus on raising your consciousness. The more you focus on reaching the highest level of consciousness, frequency, vibration, all your answers will be made very clear to you, and you'll understand exactly who, what everything is. This thing that you're playing in and how it works and everything. If you seek it, and you will. If you really want something, your desire is that strong to know what happens when I die, you will see it. You are very capable of going back to see that. Your consciousness is not restricted to anything, all time and space. You can go and see anything and everything. It's a matter of frequency and vibration. So just, no resistance. All right, I'm thirsty. Right, guys, have a great evening. All great. I think it's fantastic. I think it's so awesome. I'm so glad we finally, wow. Get to leave all this, and it's starting to split now, so choose wisely. All right, and this is going to be, some of you might find you started some tests, you might have going through some tests, or you're going to go through some tests, and I talked about that last night's live, which is up on my YouTube channel. All right, okay, bye.